Hi everyone, sorry for the delay there. Had a few issues with my phone, so I'm hoping this will work. So today I am going to be showing you how I made these cards. Really easy to do, and so let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to show you the gathering leaf dies. So we're going to use these 3 dies, which actually cut and emboss at the same time. And also we're going to use the pumpkins and the wheat and the sentiment, this one here and this one here, for the cards. Now, if you purchase the bundle at my store using this hostess code, I will send you half a package of the Come Along and Gathering DSP, which is these right here. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 designs on this side, and flip them over 6 more on that side. So you get half a sheet of paper, so you'll get half of so 6 by 12 sheet of paper. Okay, so let's get started. So what you're going to need is you're going to need the bundle, the Gather Together bundle. You're going to need your Cajun Craze and your crushed curry and your Copper Delica stamp ink and your blends, and you're also going to need a piece of Cajun Craze paper, which is 8.5 inches, I'm thinking. Yeah, 8.5 inches by 2 inches. A piece of Mary Morlot, which is 4 by 5 1/4. And then a thing of DSP, which is 3 3/4. Yeah, 3 3/4 by 5. I think this is 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch. Yeah, 1/2 inch by 4 inches. Scrap piece of paper, some ribbon of some sort, some twine, another scrap piece of paper, and then your card base, which is 5.5 by 8.5, and then I scored it at 4 1/4. Okay, so let us get going. So I'm just going to start off with, we're going to cut the leaves. So in order to do that, we're going to bring our Big Shot in. Oh, sorry. Throwing things around here. Going to bring our Big Shot in. Oh, so first, let's everything all organized here. So no, I lied to you. We are going to bring in a piece of paper towel and a spritzer of some sort, Stampin' Up to sell them. They're about $4 and you get 2 of them. And you're going to soak up the paper. Okay, and then also on this one here, you're also going to soak this one up too. So the reason you're going to do that is because you're cutting using the dies to cut the paper, and it's also going to emboss. And when you dampen the paper down, it actually makes the impression deeper. And it also, if you notice on how the embossing is basically a whole different color, which I think is pretty cool. So this is going to be this piece right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut 5 of the leaves, 5 of the leaves into this paper. You're basically doing 2 birds with 1 stone on this one. And then bring in this. Oops. I'm just going to just run it on through. Oops, come on, let's go. So just this way and this way. So a few things happening this week. The cards for Mission, that's supposed to happen on Wednesday. We're just changing the venue. We're going to have it at the house here. So if you're interested in coming, just let me know, and I'll give you my address and you can come on over. And we do have a couple seats left for our bingo on Saturday, and oh my goodness, You should see some of the stuff. It's so friggin' cute. So we hope you can join us. We'd love to have you. And if you're interested in that, please let me know also, and we'll get you all set up with that. If you bring a friend, you will receive an extra package of the bingo. Oops, let me make this straight. An extra package of the bingo packages. Okay, so there's that one. So now what we're going to do is just going to put that aside so it'll dry a bit. And then I will bring in the Cajun Craze. So with this one, we want to cut I cut 5 flowers of, or 5 leaves of each. And we're only going to use 2 of the Mary Merlot, and then we're going to use 5 of these ones. And then the Mary Merlot, Mary Merlot, we're going to make the other card. Okay, come on. And oops. Very easy cards to do, but I just love the embossing on that one. And I'm just going to use the 2 bigger ones. 1, 2. Let's get that in there. And just run it all through. Oh my Lord. Here in Winnipeg, it was like 30 degrees here today, and the humidity was unbelievable. Just like, it's almost fall when we're getting our summer weather. I don't understand that. But anyway, only in Winnipeg. Okay, so just take that one out. I'm just going to just move this out of the way. Along with the paper. So while these are still damp, I'm just going to get my piercing tool here. Do you notice on these dies, they don't have, normally they have holes on the opposite side so you can poke them out, but these ones don't because of the embossing on that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my bone folder, and these are still damp. So what I'm going to do is lightly curl them outwards like that. So they look like they're actually fall leaves that have fallen off the tree and have starting to dry up to give that effect. So we'll do that on all these. And I'm going to do it on all of them. And when they dry, they'll actually flip up. Look very pretty. What's this? So that out of the way. So there we go. A couple more. Yeah, I went outside on my lunch hour and I thought, oh my goodness, this is like pool weather. But we shut our pool down, so that's not going to happen. But it's really nice to see the heat again after what we had. I thought we lived in BC for a while there because of all the rain we were getting. And then I'll just pop this one out. Now this first card I cased it from the catalog, but I added my version to it. So it's a lot easier than I thought. And actually, so this is a card, excuse me, that we did at Club this week. So I'm just going to just score that right there. Now I'm going to bring in my Designer Series paper, and I'm going to put it into the center of this one. I'm going to use Tombow glue for that, because the layering is going to be on the second layer, and on all the leaves will be. Just okay, so this is still a little bit damp, so I'm hoping, well, you get the idea. I'm hoping the dimensionals will stick, but last time I didn't, they didn't. So what you want, when you're putting the dimensionals on here, you want to make sure you have lots on here because you want it to stay up. And with the little narrows in here will actually make it sag a bit. So I'm gonna I'll just use the scraps of these. And see, that's not sticking too well. I think it's because it's damp. Maybe I should. Go. So you want to make sure that you have it quite a few dimensionals on this one. Normally I don't get that carried away, but and then we'll just finish this up here. So like I said, if you're interested in coming to our bingo, we do have a couple spots left. It's going to be a fun evening. We're having so much fun putting everything together. And there's some fantastic prizes and giveaways. I'm going to just maybe cut this one in half and put this one up here. Okay, so now I'm just going to see, this is damp and this isn't sticking too well. So you got to make sure that your paper is dry before you start putting the dimensionals on. Oh, it's not sticking. I'm not going to bring out my, oh come on. I'll just put another piece on. There, just roll these guys off. Yeah, so do make sure that your paper is dry before starting this, because look what happens. Looks like this side is the only side that's basically dry. Okay, because I'm already too busy focusing there, so just take this one and stick it right there. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to place it over top of that right there. Okay, and now I'm going to bring in my copper ink, and I'm going to just, with my brush, my makeup brush from the dollar store, cheap, only $1. I'm just going to go lightly around the leaves just to give it a little bit of bling. And just around the edges, throw some in the center. But these brushes are so cool. And I have my girls looking for them for me. I think I have enough. My club girls each got one when we were doing a technique. So yeah, just around the edges. And these are still quite damp. But I'm going to adhere them using Tombow glue. And just, like I said, just slightly around the edge, a bit in the center. And then I'm just going to take two of the biggest one. I'm going to take one of each. I'm just going to put them aside because we're not going to use those. We're going to use them on the next card. Okay, so now I'm going to place the, see how I place the leaves? I just basically place them so you can see the DSP coming through. And I like to dry place them first, and then go ahead and so you want to, don't have to be too concerned in this area because you're going to put your pumpkin, your sentiment, and your ribbon in that area. So you can have, I'll throw one of the smaller ones in there. Throw this one in here like this, and then this one down here, and this one on here. So now when you go to glue these, what you want to do is you want to glue it on the paper first. You don't want to glue it on the back of the actual leaves, because you could miss a section of the cardstock and end it up on the DSP, which would lose all the effect of it being raised on the card. And just oops, there. In here. But it's wherever you place the leaves when you go to cut them out. And I'm going to slide this one in here. Oops. Just slide the small one in here underneath. And then we'll put this one right here. Okay, so I place all my leaves. Oh, that one doesn't want to place all my leaves. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my scrap piece of paper and my Cajun craze and my crushed curry. So my wheat is going to be in the crushed curry. And then my pumpkins are going to be in the Cajun craze. And then while I have the Cajun craze, I'm just going to bring in my sentiment. There we go. Oh, look at that. We have light. And then my sentiment, which is so glad you're in my life. So I'm just going to just stamp that on here. Oops. So if my head gets in the way, I apologize. I'm going to stand up for this one because I need to be able to. I'm going to take it a little bit to the left because I just want to flag the end. There we go. Move that out of the way. Now I'm going to bring in my piece of thread. I think that I got this thread through a paper pumpkin because I have like, I don't know how many rolls of it over in my workstation. So I brought in the dark pretty peacock, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to color this, and I'm just going to color it on the edge of the scrap piece of paper, and it will turn. You'll have to roll it to make sure that you get it on both sides. And when you use the alcohol ink, it sort of dries out the thread, which makes it a little stiffer, which I find is easier to tie a bow. And just a couple strokes just to make sure that you've got it all covered. And then I'm just going to just flip it around and then just do the last side. There we go. I think nope, I missed a spot right there. I'll just color that, and then I'll just put this to the side and we'll just let it dry a bit. And now I'm going to bring in my die cuts again. I'm going to die cut the pumpkin and the two pumpkins together, but unfortunately they don't have a die cut for the wheat, so we have to actually fussy cut that. And just bring up, let's put everything over there. Bring this in, and there we go, 1 and 2. So I don't understand why they don't have a die for the wheat, because that's quite the image to cut out, fussy cut. Just put these there for now. So there's my pumpkins, just put them there. Move the big shot out of the way, and I'll just bring in my scissors and quickly cut this out, and then we'll put everything together. So yeah, I just don't understand because there's so many. This is such intricate piece to cut out. Let's put that in the trash bin. Yeah, so you all know that Kiefer broke his hip, and he's starting his therapy, and he's getting out more, walking around. He's going to put 50% weight on his hip now when he walks. Still not 100%, and he has can move it, what, instead of put 85%, he can bend at the hip. The doctor says 90% for a while, so that's a good thing. He's such a good kid. He just does as he's told, and don't try to tell him he has to do something different, because he says that's not what the doctor says. So he's a good patient. That's all I can say. Okay, so, okay. So now what I'm going to do is bring in, oh, these guys go over there. I'm going to bring in the ribbon. Where's my ribbon? Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. So what I'm going to do with the ribbon is I'm going to take my fast fuse, or you can use your regular snail, and just run a strip on the back side. And because all you're going to do is you're going to place this over top of the leaves. So that didn't want to stick. There we go. Over top of the leaves. So now you can hide anything you don't want to see. And then you're going to take your wheat and just place that right there. And now I'm going to add dimensionals onto my pumpkins and place them. Oops, I'm going to place this one just a little bit higher, and then this one. You can just basically place these wherever you wish. And then I'm going to tie a bow with the thread. Just there, right there. Oh, so you see how some of it didn't take, so I'm just going to grab my blends and just run it on through. Maybe I'm not. I'll just grab a scrap piece of paper and just darken it up a bit. So it's hard to believe, but the 21st is going to be fall. Man. We have 3 months of that, and then we go into that other stuff that I can't stand. Okay, so that's done. So let's just tie this in a quick little bow. And just going to, I don't have any glue dots over here, so I'll just use a bit of Tombow glue. I'm just going to just basically place that right there. I'm turning these back a bit. Oh, let's just, no, I'm going to use yeah, I'll use a little tiny bit of Tombow glue. Just a little bit on the back side, and just place that right about there. Oops. And then, okay, where's my sentiment? Oh man, don't tell me got lazy and washed away. Did. There it is right here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fan the end. I'll just take a little bit off and just fan it. So and then with sentiment, what I did on that is I added a couple of dimensionals on the back side of that. And I'm going to put 3 because it's such a longer piece. Don't want it to get away on you. And then I'm just going to basically put that like that. Okay, there's card number 1. Now for card number 2, which is this one right here, is we're going to use the leftover leaves. Oh, sorry, this card right here, we're going to use the leftover leaves. Now where did I put the kit? Oh, here it is. And so what I'm going to do with this, I'm just going to glue this designer series paper. This paper is gorgeous. Just love it. Oh, make sure your leaves are going this one way. You don't want them upside down. Okay. There's that one. And then I'm going to take this piece here and I'm going to dimension the back side of it. I'm just going to use these guys because I make them a little bit bigger. And I'm just going to just put this. Now you can set this anywhere you want. I put mine to the right hand side, but like I said, you can put it anywhere you wish. Just going to do the same thing. There's that. Now I'm going to bring in the smaller piece. And you notice I cut it out with the rectangle die cuts. I'm just going to change out the sentiment. And I'm going to grab also this one right here. I'm going to use that and I'm going to stamp that all around. I just put the gather on it and I didn't like how it turned out, so it needed a little bit more, so I decided to add that. Okay, so just on the, now you want to do it on one of the sides of your Very Vanilla, because your leaves are going to go on the opposite side. So you don't want to lose the So, and just go all around the gather. Oh, there's a piece of paper. There. Okay, so we're done with the ink. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dimension this too. I hope that's dried. Yeah. Forget, because it's a pigment ink, it takes just a little tad longer to dry. Then, okay, so I'm going to bring this in, and I'm going to put the sentiment. Now you can put it into the center, which I think I probably did. And that one. And just put it right there. And then I'm going to bring in my leaves, and the same thing as what I did on the other cards. I'm just going to put some glue on the back of the leaves. And this one right here. And there you have it. So 2 cards. I love the color combination on that. Oh, looks like I screwed up on that one. Didn't put it up. I'll fix that later. Okay, so if you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to have this posted on my blog later on tonight, and I'll have all the details of everything that I used and how I did it. And I want to thank you so much for joining me. Greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you next Monday. Again, if you live in Canada and you don't have a demonstrator and you like to order, I'd love to be your demonstrator. And if you order the bundle, so if you order the stamp set and the dies, these guys here, if you order this bundle, I will send you half a package of the designer series paper, which is these guys right here. Gorgeous. There's one side and then there's the other. Beautiful fall colors. I love the pretty peacock for the pumpkins. Like this one here's got to be my favorite. Okay, so I'm going to let you go. And thanks again for joining me. Greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions, just let me know. If not, I'll see you here next Monday. Okay, thanks again. See ya. Bye.